Tell
So
me.
these, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. YouTube is doing its own little thing there. So I really don't know what's happening. Let me close it out and go back in. But it really is saying upcoming. Hmm, I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, so we have to kind of keep it going. Um, maybe we should start over. What you think? You
Yeah.
can see, you can see J Rock on
Oh,
YouTube.
vacancy.
You can see.
Okay. Let me go back
You know,
and
I'm on YouTube now. I'm seeing something. Okay, I can see. You can see. Here we go. Yeah, I'm on YouTube now. So there it
yeah, I
goes.
see it. It's showing live. Tell them to just
Okay.
come back in. Yep, yep.
Okay. We just gonna rewind. We're gonna just squash this little front part. Everybody, technical difficulty, be sorry. I don't know what was going on with YouTube, but we are here. Oh, Jay can see. Now, for
Jamie
those
crazy.
in the chat, some happy faces, do you see us now? We're gonna start this thing back over. Okay, all right. We're gonna say the quote again because y'all missed everything we just freaking
Right.
said.
Go
You know,
ahead,
this is
Maggie.
what happens when you got your production. Just we were together this time. Y'all late. You know,
Right.
how
It's
is
on
y'all?
y'all.
Yeah,
We
it's
was
y'all.
good. CNC was good.
All right, Miss Pie. So, all right, now if you guys are new to the channel, if you watch, okay, that's where the views are coming in, and I see them. I see them. All right.
Gotcha.
We always start off with a little bit of motivation, motivational boost. This is champagne confessions for those that are late and didn't hear us the first time. All the people in the chat, I guess they chatting now and they can see us. Okay, share this out so everybody can see us, you know. But the motivational quote for today is don't be afraid to be yourself and don't let anybody tell you that that's wrong because the best thing is you. Let y'all ponder on that a little bit. And Miss Kai, can you just repeat? What do you feel about that quote?
Don't be afraid to be yourself and don't let anybody tell you that that's wrong because the best thing is you. You know, Maggie, what I take from that is something that I always preach about, and that is first of all accepting you for who you are. You know what I mean? You got to be confident and accepting of you. Worry about you, right?
Yeah,
And again, just being your authentic self. People love that. You know what I mean? You will be so surprised. You know, people love the, knowing and seeing and talking to the authentic you.
absolutely. I agree. And I agree with that comment as well. It's just, a lot of people are looking to fit in with other people. And only because, other people look at what you might be interested in, the way you
Mm-hmm.
like to dress yourself, your character, everything that you do behind the scenes, you keep in your secret because you feel like people are going to laugh at it, criticize it because you enjoy things that's a little different than what your friends are enjoying. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
time those people tend to hide those things or they'll try to share. And it's like, you listen to that? You do that?
Right.
Girl, and
Right.
they try to hide behind that and act like something they're not. And that's the
Because your
impression
path
that
is your path. Your path
it,
is
it
your
is.
path, Maggie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And people have to understand that you shouldn't live your life to please others. Because at the end of the day, you're going to learn that these same people that you're trying to make a big deal about, it's not going to be there when you're down and out, when you need them the
Mm-hmm.
most. A lot of times you have a number of friends when you start off in high school, you end up going down to one that you
Exactly.
have a close connection to. So, trying to fit in high school and everything else, you're not going to know half of these people when you get out of there because everybody's going to go their separate ways. And all that time you was trying to impress and all this, you wasted your time. Those are not going to be
Mm-hmm.
your true friends in the end of the day. you know.
I had a good friend. Matter of fact, she's in town. We're supposed to be getting together, meeting up, but and she's a little, older than I am, and but she was always like another big sister for me. And I remember her saying, when you turn 30 or right before you turn 30, you are going to see your friends start to decline. You know what I mean? And sure enough, that was the truth. She said, you're gonna see. So, and that's not a problem. It's with growth, it's with change, it's preparing you. I look at it for me, it was like preparing me on my path. You know what I mean? And I had to, it's like cycles, different cycles I had to go through, like different people. Everyone was there for a reason and taught me something, whether it hurt my feelings. And of course, I'm not condoning that. And especially, I'm not condoning that, how that made me feel. But at the same time, I'm a always carry, you know what I mean, my past with me and everything, you know what I mean? Because that's part of who I am. That's part of my path. That's part of my journey.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So it is a lesson. And sometimes it does take us to get a little older to realize that, you went through your life trying to people please and fit in. And, you wanted all these friends in your life, but at the same time, you wasn't analyzing those friends. You were just trying to be a part of something,
like, and glorify them. And
glorify them. So it's like, that's when those cliques come together. It's like, you hanging with this person, I'm hanging with that person. I had to learn to be an individual, because I used to be wanting to be everywhere, do everything with everybody. But then I realized these people ain't looking out for me like I want them to look out for me.
Exactly.
It's just more of a convenience. It's a fun thing to do at the time. But at the end of the day, these are not my true friends. Like, they're associates, yes. But as far as when I'm like, you know what, I ain't got it together right now. I'm not feeling good. Who is that friend that's gonna sit there? Friend, you want a hug? You okay?
Or you just want me to sit here with you? We don't even have to talk. You know what I mean? Do you just want me to be in the presence, just so you won't feel alone right now? You know what I mean? Absolutely. If you just need that body to see something, that's okay too. Sometimes that's what people need. I don't need you to talk. Just sit right here and watch the movie or watch TV with me and just be quiet.
And what Big Ant said, half of them people that you trying to impress don't give a damn about you. Say it again.
That's true, Big Ant. For that. Where's my microphone? I promise I ain't gonna turn it on. Dang, I can't find it. I don't know where it went. However, that right there, I wish we could highlight that and put, because that's true. That's true.
It is.
That's true.
Because I'm telling you, I can count on my hand how many true friends I have in my life that and I might hit and miss on some people, but I still have hold of people dear to me. And the funny thing is, we may not communicate every day, but it's that one phone call. We sit there for hours and have us a good conversation, because we are allowing each other time to miss each other, one thing, and we got busy lives, so it's not like I have to hear from you every single day to know that you're okay. I'll check on you check on me here, and most people already know me by now. They're like, I'm not gonna hear from you, Maggie. I know it. You ain't even gonna lie and say you're gonna call me. I'm like, yeah, I won't call.
Right.
But I'm free.
That's the understanding you need, though. I'm up there with you. I don't have time to sit on no phone or whatever. But if you call me, something's going down, automatically nothing I'm doing is important anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. Getting that game I need to go to this. I got to rip and run, do this and run this errand or whatever. It doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you should, if I know I can pick up, like you said, if I haven't talked to you in months, sometimes it's really years you haven't seen that person, whatever. But when something is going down and you need some, and you can pick up, and it's no question,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's real.
Like you said, the circle is getting smaller. Yeah,
Absolutely.
but the smaller your crew is, the more real and special and important these are to you, though,
Yep.
because it's like you've been here, and I held on to you for this long. You a true one. You know
It's
how they
called your
say my day
tribe.
one.
Your tribe.
That's your tribe. That's
Mm-hmm.
who is gonna be, down like 4 flats.
Yep.
And he said, that's my life. And you said your circle is extremely small. So y'all understanding the purpose of
Yeah.
this, So he said, them people I try to impress and be in the group turn out to have more insecure issues than I did. Everybody sits
Misery
highly
loves
behind.
company.
Misery loves company, definitely. So speaking of, let's go ahead and talk about our hot topic for today.
Okay.
We're back at
Let's
it.
pick that up.
Got a nice little hot topic. So
Yeah.
this one here, if anybody kind of gets into the drama of this stuff right here, y'all know who that is. A little Scrappy and Miss Mama D. And we're gonna read a little bit about, if anybody don't really follow it, like I really don't. I just don't care for those reality shows, but they're there. They're here.
I follow it.
They put all their life on Front Street. And there's nothing wrong with what you watch. I just don't. I honestly stopped watching TV altogether, so I don't watch anything. So I miss all the good stuff. So y'all have to fill me in on all the television stuff, because I'll barely watch a series and be like, I still
when I
ain't
get
caught
time,
up with you.
look,
None of the shows I used to watch.
when I get time to sit down, yeah, I'll catch up on it. I'm like, ooh, oh my God. Yeah, I catch up on it.
Yeah.
Um
So
whew.
we have a little bit about what's going on with this situation. Y'all just kind of listen in. Me, Kai, we're gonna kind of go through it a little quick as we can. So Love and Hip Hop star, you already know, Little Scrappy, and recently confronted his mother, Mama D, about the trauma he endured as a child, watching her generate income as a pimp. People,
A pimp.
Didn't know, a pimp. The rapper's revelation comes years after the feud between Mama D and his wife, Bambi. The pair's public beef stemmed from Mama D's sharing Little Scrappy and Bambi's relationship issues online, and the 15-year-old maintaining a friendship with her son's ex, which is a little trifling. Shay Johnson. Mama D's friendship with Johnson led to Little Scrappy cutting ties with her temporarily, and Little Scrappy confronts Mama D about her past life as a pimp. So what you want to finish that up a little bit? You see where I'm at? You want me to keep going? Where you at, lady? Oh, she's on mute. Anyway, while addressing Bambi and Mama D at his Love and Hip Hop ATO's co-star Spice party, Little Scrappy said, I just want to say this. You my mama. That's my wife. I don't have nobody if y'all ain't with me. I don't have anybody. You got to stop, because you don't have nobody. That should make you support this even more, because I want somebody. And what he pretty much meant by that is, she seems a little jealous about his love for his wife, because the fact that Mama just didn't have it all together like that. So she's just a little jealous and trying to control that situation, because she's just Mama that wants to interfere with everything else. But I'm right there with it.
Right. So, and I'm gonna address Oliver B's question. Okay, so you ended with where did you end at, Maggie?
I'm at where it says he continued, right there.
So you want me to start right there?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. All right, guys. So he continued as he pointed at Bambi. Now, this was on the show. We're explaining what happened on the show. He continued to point at Bambi You know what I'm saying? I'm in love with this, all of this. He was talking to his mom and he's pointing at me, I'm in love with this, all of this. You know why I'm the way I am with her. And Mama D responded, because of what you saw me go through, whatever. And Little Scrappy said, no, it was, he said it wasn't, his mom's past relationships, however, that contributed to how he acts as a man, but instead it was her lifestyle as a pimp, you
Yeah.
know. Um, it says the 38-year-old said, I grew up in a whorehouse. I grew up in a trap house. So
Mm.
all I knew was that. And
Yeah.
I love you because he's saying at the same time, his mother did hold him. He loves her because she held him down and she did what she had to do. But imagine you never been able to sleep with imagine you never had to sleep. He was saying you never had to sleep with your mama 24/7 because you couldn't go in your room.
Yeah. Fear for his life.
You know what I'm saying?
So
He's telling his mom, you didn't have to deal with that. He describes what he considers to be horrors that he
yeah.
saw as a young child. He describes what he considers to be horrors that he saw as a young child, being traumatized. He said you never had to walk in a motherfucker's on dope, meaning he's walking in on people doing dope. The way he was raised and how he had to deal with it. He said he had to do with that, and I'm still dealing with it.
Yeah. Uh-oh, she messed up. She's out. I'm sorry, y'all. But the gist of it basically is the way she brought him up, because she was saying she was 24, 21 years old when she had him. So young mother, she had to make a way. So she was pimping, and a lot of people were surrounded by him, using drugs, people using dope around his home. So this is what he was brought up to. And he is basically saying, Mama, that's the reason why I am the way I am. And I'm having some childhood trauma from that. Because can you imagine a lot of those dope fiends that's in that house? You can imagine the atmosphere that he was around. And if they felt that open and they just come up and out of his home, he was enduring a lot, so. And yes, now he's gotten fame, and thanks to her, but it's something he's basically saying that he has to completely deal with at this point. I don't know what happened to Kai. She was messing up. But so I want to just hear from y'all. What y'all think about that story? It's just
Okay, I'm sick of this.
okay, it's your internet.
Oh my God. Yes. But anyway, go ahead. Whatever.
So I was just kind of summarizing it up.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was brought up in a rough life. Now he thanks his mother for all that she's done to get him there, but of course, off the cuffs of what she was doing to pay for how she got him there, how he
Right.
couldn't sleep comfortably at night. He had to sleep on the mama because he didn't feel safe. So he had to deal with that. And can you imagine just living like that day to day? He said he's a victim of her lifestyle. He doesn't quite
Yeah.
understand the concept of right or wrong. His mama a trip, or is it him? It's both, Oliver. It's both.
It's both. And okay, so like Maggie and I was speaking earlier, and I was sharing with her. I you know, so we all know he was how can I say this? So somebody close, I was talking to someone close to the sort, close to Scrappy and everything. And this is before I started to really understand Mama D, even really kind of see how she was, how she, what, just see that. And they were stating, sharing some personal things of how she was, and kind of confirming what we're all seeing now. They were confirming years ago when we were having this conversation, just sitting down. And I was just like, oh my God. And I remember thinking to myself, she's dealing with something too. Like she had to go through her own thing. And like Scrap said, because this isn't the first relationship. This is why I'm saying this. It's not the first relationship that it's been some tension and created some stuff with. It's been, a few, what was shared, and it's still happening to this day. So I'm looking like, wow, they were speaking some truth. Obviously there's something going on. But at the same time, with that, I don't even want to judge her and saying, she did what she had to do, but at the same time, she is going to have to accept how, what that did to him. This is a grown man going on 40 years old, a grown man with children, and he's crying out and he's saying, look, this is what, even though I love you, you did what you had to do. You put up money to start my career and everything. And I will always love you, respect, and thank you for that. However, as I was being brought up, like he called, cuz, talking to his mama, hey, hey, I'm going through some trauma. I'm having nightmares. Something ain't right.
You messed up.
Feel me. You know what I'm saying?
Things that, and that's why I have sympathy for some people. It was kind of the same thing with my husband, my ex-husband. He was around a lot of things that he shouldn't have seen. And she had him at 16. So they were growing up together. So it's like, I don't fault him for a lot of the things that he's grown up to see and witness, but it did raise him to be a certain way because of that upbringing around him. So there's a lot of things that he definitely has to work on, as well as things I have to work on, because I have some childhood trauma that I'm dealing with too. So I don't point the finger at him just saying it was just you. It's both of us. But I'm willing to face my, issues. He wasn't. So that's where it came through at. So let's go ahead and get into this conversation now.
Right.
The reason why we bringing this all up, because we are talking about controlling parents. Now, I'm pretty sure. Now, we're not just saying this parents are disciplined. Nothing wrong with that. But controlling parents that don't know how to let back and let you live a little bit. Let you make your own decisions. That's what I mean about controlling parents. We're going to give you a little definition of it. I don't know. So what is a controlling parent? And everybody put something in the chat. Let me know how you feel what a controlling parent is. But to me, a controlling parent, like it's just somebody that just, of course, they had a rough life. Things didn't go the way they wanted to go. They wasn't taught right. But they always said, when I have my child, I want them to do better than me. I want things to be a little different for them. And they live through their children. And they put them in things without their consent and say, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. And that's how it's going to be. And it starts to become a little bit forced, if you will. So what's your definition of a controlling parent?
Pretty much like what you said, Maggie. A lot of parents try to live through their children. A lot of parents don't allow their children to, just go out into the world, and live life and find out who they truly are for themselves. I hear a lot of people or, saying, well, I did this, or I went to school to be a doctor or a dentist or whatever because my mom or dad was, and they did it, to get that praise from them, to make them proud, you know what I mean? And scared and not confident enough to go out and again be who they truly are, meaning that's, whatever path you're taking, work, job, social, whatever, you know. But with that, we, like I tell any parent, you just do the best that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Have that faith, trust, and believe, that what you instill, because it starts at home, what you have instilled in them, they're going to apply that in their life. But you have to let them get out there and fall on their own. The only thing we can do at that is just show up when they need us. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And help and continue to guide. Because at that point, we're not raising them, we're giving advice and we're being there for support.
Absolutely. And we're gonna get into it because that's just the reason why I raised mine the way I raised mine. But we're gonna get into a little bit more of that conversation. I just want to put this up here. Let me take this comment off. So y'all can kind of see it just a little bit. Thank you, Kutonga. Controlling parents. We got everything up here on these banners. I love it.
Okay.
But controlling or invasive behavior from parents can result in the loss of autonomy or any sense of control over one's life. The child may feel a sense of being trapped by the inability to make individual choices, overwhelmed by pressure to perform at unrealistic standards, or angered by the constant intrusiveness in their life. This upbringing can also have negative, long-lasting impacts on emotional well-being and mental health. So that's kind of a gist of that definition. As well as we're going to get into the signs as well, but I want to bring this one up too, just to kind of break it down a little bit more. So, in the most extreme forms, living vicariously through a child, and this our next question is this a form of abuse? Is it considered abuse, people? It's the question. Because parents may aggressively pigeonhole a child into a role, ignoring the child's needs and feelings. Some parents even become physically or emotionally abusive in an attempt to get their children to excel at certain activities. So, based on that definition right there, is it considered abuse?
I think I would say yes. I would say that is a form of abuse, because you are now putting your son or daughter's mental health in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they feel like they don't have any type of voice for themselves. They can't advocate for themselves. Like, Mom, I just don't like this. I don't want to do this. It's not the path that I want to go in. And honestly, it can get deeper and deeper and deeper, because especially when it goes into adulthood and mom and dad is still trying to be involved in that. And let's get into some of these comments here. Is it abuse, people? Let's see. What Cool Tonga said earlier said some parents are jealous, to be honest, of the younger group, but I don't know why. Jason just interfering in everything. It says forcing their children to do things against their will, not necessarily chores, getting good grades or anything, but hand selecting their life and or lifestyle. Some parents love to use God's word against you and think it's funny. Okay. Story of my life right there. He said, I think it's my opinion. I always thought the way about Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And it look
their lifestyles. He sure
right.
Is.
And Michael MJ, not to say all, the siblings didn't speak up for themselves at some point, but MJ, his was played out on display. He wasn't having it. You know what I mean? Like, no. And you could see some of that. You could still see some of that trauma, in Michael Jackson.
I'm gonna take it from there. Janet Jackson. Anybody watch her documentary or whatever? She also
Yep.
hired her father for being
Yep.
her, manager and everything, because she's like, no, you're still trying to control my life. I don't want to do this. I want to be my own little girl, and I want to do my own music. I want to write it the way I want to write it. This is how I want to be. So he was really trying to control all of them to be what he wanted them to be, and it caused them some trauma, to be honest.
I've had people literally say to me or ask me, how does it feel being a pastor's daughter? And I'm like, I'm myself, period. They're going to have to accept me. They know I speak my mind. I'm not going to disrespect them, but they also know they can't put me in a hole. I don't want to say they never could control me, but it was like, I've just always been like that. You know what I mean? I did have my little, you have your little times where you don't feel confident, you know what I mean? But I think overall, I always say I'm like the black sheep of the family. But okay, my dad's a pastor. I do right by people. I live my life, but I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care, what my mom or dad is thinking or saying. I'm not hurting them. I'm not affecting them. I'm not living, I'm doing well. You know what I mean? Like, what you gonna say? Like, what does that, like, what kind of question? I get it, but I don't get it,
Exactly. It's like the perfect example. My kid's father was growing up in a Jehovah Witness household. The oldest group. And well, he ended up not wanting to live in that lifestyle anymore. When he got older, they try to blame it was me, but I'm like, man, this man was already out that life before he even, he was very unhappy. That wasn't for him. I mean, no offense to anybody in their own religion, but parents, we can't force these on our children either. You can't force your lifestyle. You can't force your religion. Your child has their own individuality of what they want to believe in. Just like Kai said, yeah, my father's a preacher, but what does that mean? I am me. I'm my own.
He the preacher. I'm not.
Exactly. I don't know if y'all may agree with this, but that's how I feel about them witches over there.
The Kardashians. Yeah.
And I want to get into this because me and Kai kind of mentioned this earlier. These kids are brought into the spotlight. And a lot of time it's the family, it's the parents that's forcing them to be into that. Look at Amanda Bynes, I think her name is. She's going through a lot of mental health issues right now. Actually, just put herself back in rehab. Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Forced.
Couldn't even see her kids. Did you see that?
And the kids are being turned against her because she's crazy. Look at Blue Ivy. Now, I don't want to be high coming after me, but even though she's getting the hang of it, each video I'm seeing she's getting better, but it looks like Blue Ivy is being forced into that.
I'm getting ready to turn my camera off because Beehive coming for you.
I don't care. Bring it. If you would check, you Beehive, come with it. I got it. I up right now. I don't care.
Yeah.
It feels like she's.
It does. It does.
Because Mama want to be proud, but it also doesn't look like that's her comfort zone.
Right.
Now, Kanye's daughter, the one that's in the spotlight a little bit. It seems like that's her personality just a little bit.
Yeah, and she ain't scared to show y'all. She don't care.
Personality, but that makes sense. But Blue Ivy just coming out of nowhere and dancing on stage, and she's just looking like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm here, but I'm here because Mama wants me to be here. That's exactly the way it looks to me.
Yeah. Well, and we're not saying that's what it is, but that's how. Yeah, yeah. I was watching a short. You know the short that she performed at the dance at the what's the performance with her mom. The last what was the last thing B did? Her last big thing she just did. I can't think of the name. Um well anyway, it's a short I was watching on YouTube, and I just kind of got that feeling that you were describing, like it's being some, forced. Like I want you to be like mommy, or you do this or whatever. So we'll
I mean,
see.
it's kind of in the sense of Tina knows and Daddy knows how they brought her up into the limelight. The secret behind the whole Jay-Z and her when she was at a certain age, and you get what I'm going there. So it's a
Yeah.
cycle that's kind of
Mhm.
starting over again. It's like you're gonna be a child
Mhm.
entertainer. That's what you're gonna be, Ivy. Why can't she just, run business and sell products and clothing or whatever they got for her? That seemed to work well for her. But now
Exactly.
you go up there because Mama can dance and sing. I also know how to dance and sing as well, or rap or whatever else. Not every child's gonna grab your talent. Now, I have 3 girls. 2 of them got the voices. One of them's kind of figure it out. But I ain't gonna say, hey, you better sing and sound like this too.
Right.
Not everybody's gonna get that talent. Let's see. Are y'all talking about North? Yeah.
Yeah. Northwest. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Amanda Bynes. Yeah, she's going through some. She don't even look the same, y'all.
And then she had chopped. Remember when she first chopped her hair off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look into that story. She's doing bad. She's going through a lot of emotional issues. She was going through the same situation like Britney Spears, um, being kind of drugged and locked away, and forced to be a star. That affects
Right.
his kids. You got to let the kids figure it out. Absolutely.
Right.
Let them find their own identities, and then you'll be surprised at the talent that comes out of them differently. Not everybody got to
Mhm.
follow in mama's footsteps, doing the same
Mhm.
exact thing. Kind of look at Michael Jordan. You know, they doing other things. It's the same thing. Like what I love about Shaq. Shaq makes his kids work and go to school and make something of themselves. You're not going to just live off of my money and do nothing. You need to
Yeah.
make own somebody and be something. Just
Yeah.
because I'm your dad, and that's the same thing with me.
Yeah.
You got
Uh-huh.
blow up or something like that. I'm like, no, you still working for yours. You still gonna earn your
Yeah.
own. I'm gonna take care
Yeah.
of you, but don't think that I'm gonna just take care of you for the rest of your life and you just
Mhm.
that lazy and do nothing.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with someone, as far as money, generational wealth, leaving behind. I mean, I said, well, you know, I don't I don't believe in that statement of I just want to give my kids this. I don't want them to ever have to work and do all this. I don't agree with that. I even put it in our will, they don't get whatever until a certain age. Like they are 30 years old at that point. Like seriously, I want you to learn. I want you to go through it, get through it, learn, be humbled in everything. I want you to face some challenges, of course, within God's hands, Him protecting and covering you and getting you through. But I need you to go through your journey, the right way. I'm not about to help you cheat out of your lessons that you need to learn, because if I do that to you, if we do that to you, then we're enabling you. We're not teaching you that you have to work for it. You know what I mean? You have to. Like, I'm not doing that.
I mean, because
And
look
they're
at
looking.
you brought up the Kardashians family. I know you talk about Madonna too. One thing these celebrities don't realize: this money is like how they're always in the spotlight on TV. These girls can't even cut up a cucumber. Can't even do for themselves on their own. Like you really raising some dumbass people at this point.
And that's that. If you don't know how to cut a cucumber, that's never mind.
I'm just saying. So it's like money ain't everything when you're dumb as hell.
That's that. I'm okay. Sorry if we're offending anybody who is watching or will watch, but that makes no sense. That shit is stupid. Let me just go ahead and say what I'm saying right now. Y'all know I said I'm all down for shit, damn, hell, and ass. Those words. It's the ones that I said I don't want up on this platform. But however, that's some stupid shit. And I'm gonna be and yeah, it's the pastor's daughter saying shit. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't know how to wash your clothes. You don't know how to make one good meal. You don't know how to do anything for yourself. And I don't like when these mamas sit up here making their grown sons plates. Get your ass up and make your plate. I'm not doing it. Get your ass up.
So we got the definition of what a controlling parent is, and I think we might open it up to the chat just in case they want to get in and say something. But
cool.
Let's talk about these signs of a controlling parent. And while we're doing that, maybe we can go ahead and put some in the chat, let everybody know that we're gonna open it up to conversation today.
You want me to
You can. I'm gonna put this in the chat.
Okay. Let me put our thing in the chat. Yeah, I'm getting ready to put the link in the chat if you all want to join.
My bad. I put it in the wrong chat. Go ahead, ma'am. So while are we talking about the signs of a controlling parent? Okay, so these are some signs to look for in controlling parents. We kind of reiterated just a little bit on our own definition, but they're interfering in everything. Use of manipulation tactics, conditional love, demanding obedience, harsh punishment that do not align with the offense. Just always you gotta go and lock yourself in the room, close your door, turn your light off. Lack of empathy and respect, lack of appreciation for individuality, lack of privacy, criticizing or having unsolicited opinions about independent choices, unattainable for perfectionist standards. Now that last one right there, that hits home. Because
oh yeah,
it's kind of what my children deal with from a different side of the family. I ain't gonna point names and say which side, okay? So we won't be getting beat up about life stories, but they're going through something right now where they're amongst other people that brag. They boys, they pretty much just celebrate success only. The bragging rights, more, oh, this person over here is doing this in this school and she's going to Harvard, everybody. Oh, but you're just doing this little stuff. That's not good enough for me. That's what my children are going through. And they constantly have to ask me, Mom, I just hope this person, is proud of me. You think they're going to be proud of me? Or should I wear my hair like this? Should I have my hair in this color? Should I do this and do that? It's like, for one thing, you're here with me. You're in my household. I'm feeding you. I'm clothing you. I'm making sure you get your schoolwork together. I'm making sure you freaking graduate. My daughter did it, y'all. She's a graduate.
Yes, and congratulations to my girl.
She had trouble and struggles and everything trying to compete and be the best she could be because she had high expectations from other people to do better than she put herself up to be. But it beated her down when she wasn't catching on as fast. She got behind on her work, and that pressure is what messed her up the most because it's like I'm not living up to that person's expectations. Everybody else in this group chat is praising everybody else doing these great achievements, or but you're overlooking the small feats.
Right.
It's not good enough. Oh, that little stuff you're doing, that don't mean anything. You're not going to Harvard though. What about college? You got to do that, right? Not everybody is set to go to college or right away. Some people are just trade school worthy. It's sometimes small little baby steps to get to where they want to be. Not everybody is equipped for that. Not everybody's test takers. Not everybody does well in school. Let's just keep it
Right.
real. And the very
Right.
people that are pointing the finger at you didn't quite do that either.
Right. And you don't need to go to Harvard or Howard or wherever, to a top school to get what you need to get on your path and be successful. So let's stop that. And of course, I'm not knocking college or anything, but you know, why do that? Why do that? Why belittle somebody like that? Why put others down because you may have gone or I may have gone, but this person did not? You know what I mean? You have a college degree, but this person does not. That's why we say, you got to stick to your path, and other people, y'all got to mind your own business
Thank you.
and get back in your lane and on your path, because you interfering. Who said? I think somebody just said something about interfering right here. Um, yeah, interfering in everything. Like, please, can you get out of my lane and get back on? You just passed your exit. I'm getting ready to get off mine.
So this is what I
You
was dealing with. Honestly, it was like there was my everyday struggle with my oldest, because she was just like, I don't feel like I'm doing good enough, Mom. I'm seeing all these posts and these chats with my family, and it makes me feel worse because they're not acknowledging me.
So how is she feeling like? Because I know this had happened a couple of weeks ago. How is she feeling like now at this moment with that?
Oh,
How is she feeling?
she's feeling great though. She's like, Mama,
Okay.
I did it. I'm graduating. She worked. I'm telling you, those last 2 weeks that she was staying in school overtime. Like she even got the
Focus.
teachers understood that she was really trying to push. They even let her bring her assignments home and do it. She was coming home doing work. She was dedicated to get that done. Because all I said was, baby, just graduate. Just graduate. That's
That's
all
all
I
you got to
told
focus
her.
on.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
focus on one thing right now. We can worry about all your other the secondary education afterwards, but focus on one thing. If that's all you can do right now, that will make me happy and proud that you stuck to what you was supposed to be doing at this point. We can overlook
Mm-hmm.
everything else. You can get there when you get there. And we have a
Mm-hmm.
guest in the house. Jamie, if you want to intervene on this conversation, I hope you got some good internet.
What's up, Jamie?
You didn't have to give me a low blow like that, Miss Maggie.
We all got some bad internet around here.
But you know how it go, Jamie. Come on
Yeah,
now.
I
She
know.
just she just wanted the warning at least. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, no, I was using a Boost mobile device, so
Okay.
yeah,
I saw you come on and come off. So I was like, here we go.
yeah, okay.
And then did you hear that slick shade? I was using a Boost mobile device. Yeah, you
Yes,
said that, Jamie. But go
I did.
ahead. What's
But
up?
yeah, I wanted to iterate on number 7 on signs of controlling parents, lack of appreciation for individuality.
Let me put that back up. See
Hmm.
it again.
Hmm.
And that goes along with what you were explaining, Maggie, too.
Yeah.
The lack of appreciation.
Hmm. Um, Everybody, including children, have their own uniqueness. So it's like I noticed that some parents don't show that or notice that about their children, and they
Mm-hmm.
want and they forcing them to be someone that who they're not.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they're getting the grades, they're being respectful to adults or anything, not getting into trouble, but yet it's not good enough to the parents. They want them to be that sibling or that child that's not theirs. Why can't you be more like that child? Like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because the way it's set up with my children is more like, well, this person is doing this in this type of career. I think that's what you should be doing. You should go over there and study that. You should be this and do this. Like, no,
that's right.
that's not what I
Mm.
want to do. Like
Hmm.
my child, she loves fashion. She actually wants to, design clothes and little things like that. So it's like, and she
Right.
wants to be a photographer as well. And I encourage that more than the big career because you can make a. There's careers in being a photographer. There's careers in
Yeah.
designing clothes and making up people and everything else.
Hmm.
You can be
Right.
whatever you want to be in life,
Exactly. Exactly.
and that's what I highly encourage. So it gets crazy though. So those are kind of the signs again of controlling parents. Now, next we're gonna get into a little bit of, and Kyle, I don't know, I think I don't see you saw my post, but
Huh?
it's been a little echo when you got on your phone.
Echo.
It's like a little feedback when we talk. It's, okay, so
Mm.
we're also gonna talk about the effects. So now we hear about the signs of the controlling parents. Is it considered abuse? Now, what happens to a child that has to deal with this? We're gonna get into that a bit, but here are some long-term consequences of having controlling parents. Their mental health struggles, depression, anxiety, and adjustment issues, engaging in risky behaviors, increased substance use, unhealthy relationships. The big one right here, low self-esteem and self-efficacy, low tolerance for stressful situations, and poor boundaries. That's deep.
Yeah, that's real deep.
When you're trying to raise your child and you're forcing them to be something, but are you really paying attention to how they feel?
See, that's
You know, that's a lot.
Number three,
crazy.
number three is very common.
Oh yeah,
Very
Yeah.
common.
absolutely.
Yeah. Drinking, drugs. Um.
Yeah.
It's just looking at that, reading that, hearing that is just
You hear
again.
that?
I keep thinking. I just keep thinking about this is really bringing me back to what we were just discussing when I told you when I saw that scene, with Scrappy, like the hurt, man. And then he's a grown man, so you think about these children
Hmm.
who are feeling. That's why, along with you, Maggie, we think about our kids' mental health. We have had little disagreements, little bitty arguments about our kids' mental health. Because I might see, it's like a lot of times, my husband and I, it's so crazy. We will get into these little, normal little arguments, but we're saying the same thing. It might just be a different way. But I'm saying that because to say that that's how much we value and know, as far as their mental health, it's really important to us. Our
Hmm.
kids do a lot. They do a lot and they maintain a lot. Principals list and full-time athletes, full-time student, and then you maintain your academic excellence. And then you're invited to these things for academic, these private, not society, but like the National Junior Society meetings, stuff like that. And I'm like, and I remember, and I said to them, to be so young, 10 and 12, and you all manage this, and you still do, you go out, you might act a fool at home sometime, but you go out and you do what you have to do. And that they need to hear that too, because they need to know that we are watching them, and we are loving them, we care. And some, when they have to do stuff around the house, I'll say, you still got to do your chores and everything, and they be slacking on that. You know how kids are. But again, I say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Like stuff that I need to throw away, that I need you to go through. I say, okay, do this. I need you to take one bag or one box a day, because I know let's try to create balance. You know what I mean? That's another form of just making sure I'm not overwhelming these kids, because you're still going to do what you need to do in your, as far as your room, your chores, or whatever. But let me help you to create a schedule, create a balance. So when you become older, you're learning how to juggle your personal and work life. You know what I mean? You have an idea how to do that. It's teaching them. So you have to spend time on these kids. You have to talk to them, see what's going on in their lives. The 10-year-old, the youngest, I mean, he was giving me all the little tea in the rundown with everything, everybody, including himself. And I'm like, wow, I was shocked the first time, because I'm like, wow, I know we say come and talk to us about anything and everything, what you're going through. They're getting older, going through boys, girls, they're, hormones, puberty, things like that. And it's like, when they do, it's like, oh my God, they're taking my advice. Like, wow. But you want that. You want that. And I love that. You know what I mean? So that's important. You have to talk to them. We have to talk to them. We have to.
I remind my kids every time they do something, and it's not just you, Jamie. I think because she's on her cell phone, it's a lot of feedback. That's okay.
Oh, sorry, y'all, but the computer is gonna mess me up.
But I tell my children I'm proud of them every day. Like the way that my child pushed herself to graduate. She's like, Mama, I don't want to be held back and have to start over and have to complete this class the next semester. I want to graduate when I'm supposed to graduate. How are we going to do that?
Right.
Because you want
Right.
to. Because you believe in yourself. And you're going to push towards it. You fought, you dragged, you didn't want to get up. She's going through her own mental health stuff. But guess what? She fought right through it and did what she needed to do. And that right there, I'm proud of. And I kept telling her, I'm so proud of you. You're doing this. She was like, Mom, I only got 2 more courses I got to do. Good. Finish. You got this.
There you go. Right. Exactly.
Yes, you can. You can do this. I believe in you. And she did it.
Yep.
Parents, we got to start encouraging our children more, even when they're not doing their best. It's okay. You got this next time. Don't beat yourself over it. Just do better the next time around.
And if you need help, like sometimes I might, Maggie, I'm going through this, she's acting like this, he's acting like that. Like, I'm really unsure, like where this is coming from. You know what I mean? Like, what you think? Give me advice. Like, that's part of parenting, guys. Asking for help, just period, for yourself. To help when you're going through things with kids. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. We're afraid to ask for help because we don't want to be judged, or we want people to think that we have it all figured out. And it's just all green over here. The grass is green, no spots, no nothing. You know what I mean? But that's not reality. That's never going to be anyone's reality. That's false. It's okay. We here for the kids. It takes a village. PSA announcement, y'all. It takes a village. Our kids is our future.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead to the next one. Just a little bit more about the effects that happens to children, um, right here. So just a little bit more. Did we say that already? I put that one up or
Yeah,
the other one?
yeah, we went through that one.
We did that
It
one.
should be the next one. The next one below it.
I'm trying to get it to highlight. You don't see it?
I still see some long-term consequences.
Okay, I don't know why it's not. It's supposed to be the
Wait,
long-term consequences too.
which one did you want?
That last for the ways to cope.
Ways to cope? Okay.
We can go ahead and just do that. Some ways to cope. Okay, we'll just skip over it. Okay, I don't know
You
why it's
see
not.
it?
I can see it, but these are ways that you can kind of cope with the situation. From controlling parents in adulthood. So basically, acknowledge and accept the problem. You got to establish boundaries, and that's a big one. This is more of standing up a little bit to your people and be like, you know what, mom, it's a little too much going on right now. You are too involved in my life. You're messing up my marriage. You're messing up my social life because you're always dictating everything that I gotta do. Step back. Let me be. Build a support system. Take a break from them and create space. Choose your battles. Utilize healthy communication skills. Increase emotional wellness. Limit disclosures and know your limits and have an exit strategy.
Maggie, what you think? How you feel about that?
Those are good. But one thing I didn't mention is when these things just don't work and you still have low self-esteem, you still don't feel good about yourself, you don't feel like you have a say so in your own life, and it's ruined the relationship that's been around you outside of that. People walked away from you, people divorced you, people just like your mommy and daddy is just too involved in your life. I don't like this, I'm out. It's that emotional sadness they get from it, the abandonment, the getting help, seeking help is one they missed about coping. Dealing with those that controlling behavior and how it affected them. Therapy.
Exactly. That's that's why I asked you how did you feel, because I'm like, at the end of the day, you can people, they can try steps 1 through 9, and then it's still nothing. And that is where you, like Maggie said, you have to, that's what we talk about, acknowledging, you know what, I need to seek professional help. I need to talk to someone because I've tried. I don't know. I just can't grasp.
Mm-hmm.
I can't exert this. I can't put any action behind all of this because I'm saying it to myself. I'm even looking at myself in the mirror, but I still can't feel it.
Let's
I
let's
can't feel it.
let's get a little deeper than this. What if your
Let's go.
child is gay? And mom and daddy just said, you know what, you gotta dress like a girl, you gotta walk like a girl, you gotta heels like a girl, and you just has been forever uncomfortable and hiding behind yourself.
See, that's why I go back
How do
to,
you control that situation where a person's just like they just want to be their true identity, their true self?
now, okay, since you want to get deep, I want to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Because I think you mentioned this before. We talked about this some weeks prior. You remember you mentioned that you always felt that you know, like both, men and women, more so women, I believe you mentioned to
Mhm.
me. Um, and you said you always knew, but you felt like you couldn't live and be your true self. Okay.
Mhm.
When you were younger, adolescent, like, and again, you probably mentioned it, but I'm asking again, how were you feeling during that time when you felt like, again, I'm this young person and I'm trying to learn myself. I know I feel this way, but I feel as though no one really understands me, or they're hearing me, or they're seeing me. How are you feeling? Like, what's going on in your head?
Well, I had a lot of that. I want to say my middle school years and high school, because middle school and high school, you start to kind of understand yourself a lot more than you were in elementary school. Um, I lived a life of verbal and physical abuse. Um, I think I told everybody. I learned like when I was 19 years old that the person I thought to be my biological father wasn't, and he was heavy on alcohol then, my stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that the difference between how he treated me and my twin sister compared to my siblings, that is his blood children, there was a difference. So,
Mm-hmm.
and as well as my mother, she kind of just like, just hush your mouth and be quiet and act right, and he won't react. So I didn't feel like I had my mother's trust to talk to her about however I felt about anything, as well as stepdaddy. I couldn't talk to him. So I grew up learning to keep things to myself and hide things. And then, of course, what they express about people's sexualities and things like that, completely against it. Completely against it. Something wrong with that person. There's a mental disease, that type of stuff. You know how people think, people act. I even see it
Mm-hmm.
now when people, these posts, and they're like, "Oh, it's a mental disorder. It's disease to feel the way that you feel."
Mm.
So being in that lifestyle wasn't acceptable. It's more accepting now. More people are open about it, but yeah, it was a big no-no in my family.
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
seen one of my cousins just, she was always out with it, and the way that she got treated, she still to this
Mm.
day, it's like I really never was able to grow up and be a child and learn how to be something, because she was just like, you shouldn't be this way, something's wrong with you. So
Wow.
it gets deeper than that. So it's
Woo.
like I felt like I wouldn't be accepted. That's how I feel.
That's that's hard. So how did you cope with that though? As you got older, you just put it away,
I just put it away. I just
which okay.
That was just basically me getting married and all that kind of stuff, and just suppressing those feelings that never went away. It never went away. And it wasn't like the people I was in a relationship didn't know who I am, but it was more like, even with my husband, it was more like, you know, people aren't born that way. It's not the
Yeah.
biblical thing. It's not this. He was totally against it.
And listening to how you're explaining how they treated you, how they responded to you. Again, and I'm not gonna lie, because I mentioned too how I treated people and the things I used to say, saying I hate gay people, they're disgusting, nasty. And my mom was just taken back. She was terrified. Like the way I was talking, it was like, you know, like I will harm you. Um, and she was afraid. I think, and I remember like, certain comments I would say, it would just take her back, and I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I think seeing her respond like that made me go at it even more. I was just being evil until I got faced with that situation. And, God set that up for me, honey. He set that table, didn't he? He set that table, had me acting like that, and I didn't know I was doing that in front of, and embarrassed the mess out of me and humbled me really, really quick. And it had me to see how hurt my friend was by me acting like this. My best friend couldn't even come and talk to me at that time. That's hurtful, but
It is. Because I can see it. I can see it in my family how they treated everybody. So it's like, you know what? Let me be quiet
hurtful.
about my life.
And you suppressed it.
But it was something that was eating up inside of me. It was like, this is not who I truly am. And I got to the point was like, well, you know what? I don't care anymore at this point. I don't did what I had to do. I had my babies. They doing great. My lifestyle is not interfering with their lifestyles. How I raise my children is how I raise my children, not based on my sexuality and all that kind of stuff. No. I'm a great fucking mother at the end of the day.
Right.
I
But
am.
you still felt like you weren't you were really again suppressing for others, weren't just, you let that get to you. You were making them happy at that point instead of making Maggie happy. So if you are a parent out there and you are having some challenges with accepting your child, if they are bisexual or whatever the case may be, trans, whatever, I would recommend getting some help for yourself as well, some counseling, speaking to someone who can identify with you or resonate with you, and if you are that child, I would advise getting some help for yourself too, and hopefully you all can get counsel together, as a family, to understand what that other person is going through, because that's hard. It's really hard. But ATLEO, see, this right here, this is what makes me mad. Hold on. Where is that? Go back right here. My upbringing was living in an abusive slave mindset home. I was told to do better on my own with no help, and everyone was waiting for me to fail. And when I did, like me, when he failed, it was a Super Bowl party. I mean, I would, if I could, I would ask the question. My interview question would be, why? This is my microphone to the parents. Like, why? What was going on? And again, that tells me it's something that they were, how something in their upbringing, how they were taught. You know what I mean? Because I go by saying we work with what we got.
Yep.
Where did that come from? So where you would then turn around and do that to your child.
Man, Mike, what you got?
My name is Michael Anthony, ma'am. My name is Michael Anthony. Okay. I think there's an underlying issue. I don't think a lot of our issues come from who we personally believe we are. I think it's always a lack of education. When people know what they know, they just go with that. That's their world. That come from our parents, grandparents, great grandparents, parents before them. And I think a lot of our issues, we know what we know and we're comfortable with what we know and who we are. And we're unaccepting to change, we're unaccepting to helping each other grow, we're unaccepting to, you know, one of the biggest things is unaccepting to letting God ultimately, if this person needs help in whatever area, just allowing them to hear God's name instead of hearing your name constantly over and over and over again. So I don't think necessarily think a lot of people have the capability. I think everybody has the capability, but I don't think everybody is willing to allow that person to go through whatever they need to go through. And I think that's why a lot of parents, they know what they know, what they know, what they know, because they parents, they were hard, they were unwilling. And especially back in the old days, it's like, certain conversations, especially for black people, um, we weren't allowed to express feelings in any type of way. So I don't necessarily think our parents are, damaging us. I think the lack of our ego and the lack of willing to learn. So it's like if you're unwilling to learn, that's gonna hurt, everybody, including yourself. So it's like I think we just got to get in a position where we're willing to, like, all right, why do you feel like this? All right, are you willing to listen? You know what I'm saying? Just be willing to talk and listen to that person and understanding why they're going there. And I think that's that's how a lot of people end up with a lot of mental issues, um, emotional issues, is because the people that they love most are unwilling to listen to them. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily look at our parents and them for the mistakes. It's like I think it's just a generational thing that's continuously being passed down, that we're unwilling to listen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's really the key to anyone becoming, a better them. You
Yep.
got to be willing to get out of your own comfort zone. You got to be willing
Yep.
to, to listen. All right. It's like I said, for me personally, I was afraid. I was a scaredy cat growing up. I was a scaredy cat. Why? Because all my mama told me is, from like 5, 6 years old, all my mom always told me was like, all right, if you do this, they're gonna go out there and shoot you. If you do this, they're gonna go out there and jump you and beat you up and all that type. So I was always leery of that type of stuff. But that's how she grew up. She came from a small town. She wasn't used to the city, so she was afraid of everything. So I like now, it's like when you get older, you kind of realize like that's just the way they were taught. So you kind of always you got to learn to forgive, but more so than forgiving, it begins with asking this question: why is your stepfather like this, Maggie? Why is your mom like this? Why is your dad like this? Why was your brother like this? Why is Mad Mike so quote unquote angry all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta ask those questions, and when you ask those questions, you'll get the answers. But
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't think people slow down to get those answers. That's what I just say. I
well,
don't think people slow down to get those ask those questions. I mean,
well, no, I mean,
And
I
you
get what you're saying, but and of course, I know the reason why they act the way they do. I mean, I know about their upbringing and everything, but that's where the problem lies. Okay, yes, generation pass it on down, but we got to stop that. Somebody got to put an end to that
yep.
generation passing down.
Yep.
Somebody
Yep.
got to say, you know what? I know what my mom and dad passed down on me, but I shouldn't continue this cycle.
Exactly.
It
And
starts
that's what
start somewhere. You got to
exactly.
start somewhere.
Exactly.
You
Matter of fact,
can't
key
them,
point
but
what
you
Maggie
can't keep
said.
going with that. So it's like I'm raising my children to have individuality. Each one of them got their
Right.
own personality, what they want to do and how they want to do it. And it's like, you know
Mhm.
what? It's your life. This is what you want to do. This is who you want to be. Don't listen to nobody
Yep.
else.
Yep.
Don't
Yep.
please. Don't do this because your dad wants you to. Don't do this because I want you to. You do it because you do. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be
Mhm.
here forever. I'm not going to be here forever for you. You got to be
Maggie,
able to be happy in your own life, truly, without
what
anybody
you
else
just said,
knowing.
what you just, sorry, Maggie, cut you off. You know, I'm lagging a little bit. Sorry. Um, going back, you said mentioned about uh breaking the generational curses. Okay, yeah, we understand. We understand. Get it? It's understood. I feel as though both my father and my mother have lacked on some things. I can see where it comes from or whatever. And like I said, I understand. So I went through my blaming and pointing the finger stages. I did, you know what I mean? Trying to forgive and why you don't do this, is, da 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 da. But then I said, you know what? Okay, thank you. Because you have taught me something, mother. You have taught me something, father.
Mhm.
I am going to flip the script, and
Absolutely.
me as a parent, now I am going to take what I've learned and reverse that and say, I the curse is broken. Now I'm teaching my kids and showing them certain things that I wanted, that I felt like I needed from you, wanted to see, wanted to feel, whatever the case may be. And I'm going to apply that. So let me do it's going to start with me. The fixing is going to start with me. We're going to break this right here.
So we
I
all
Okay.
agree
I
tonight.
got a question for y'all, real quick.
You
Can
know,
I ask you a question? Can I
go
ask
ahead.
y'all both a question? I got a
Yeah.
question for y'all. How do we know we getting it right?
We don't.
You don't. First of all, when you like how with me, we talk about, we're spiritual people, whatever. I'm gonna walk with God. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna ask him to order and guide my steps. I'm gonna pray about it. And what I want from my parents, which I would feel is some reasonable things, it's, again, um it's just comes down to support, really. You know what I mean? More support in certain areas. So the word support, I mean, it's that's good. Support means a good thing. And so I'm taking those things and I'm saying, hey, okay, you know what? Since I know how this made me feel or makes me feel, I'm gonna continue to talk to my kids, and I'm gonna make sure that I am pretty much it's kind of go along with practicing what you preach. Okay, you saying your parents didn't do this or they did that or whatever the case may be, but you're projecting that onto your kids. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to, I'm gonna try my best not to project that onto my children, and I'm going to recognize that it's going to be easy for me to identify. So now I'm going to correct that.
Mhm. And I mean,
You know what I mean?
and it's not like you're gonna be perfect either. You're not gonna get it right each and every time.
Right. And I was, before the show started, me and Maggie and I talking chat backstage, and I'm like, yo, all I can do is show up for my kids, yo. I'm like, cause at the end of the day, me or Brian cannot flip them on their ass and look for instructions. They don't come with it. They don't come with it. Nor do they come with, a return receipt. It ain't, we just have to do the best that we can. And like I say, we pray about it. We walk with God every day. Order my steps. Like, seriously, yo, because I need to be focusing on what I need to be focusing on. I don't need to let X, Y, and Z get in my way of that.
Mhm.
You know
I,
what I mean? So guide me on today, because I ain't worrying about yesterday, because yesterday is gone. I have gotten the lessons I needed out of yesterday, Wednesday, and I'm applying it to Thursday. I'm taking one step at a time, one day at a time, and just doing the best I can.
What you got to say?
And that's what you can do as a parent. Just at the end of the day, show up. Let your kids learn. Let them live their lives. Pray for them. I had to get rid with our oldest daughter. She went through that craziness and whatever, becoming a young adult. And it's like, okay, graduating from high school and all that, you think they know everything, and they get smart, and you like, okay. It hurt like hell to cut her off. It hurt. But little girl, I'm going to tell you this. I'm getting ready to turn you over to the Lord all the way. I am going to pray for your safety. At the end of the day, I'm going to pray for you. As long as you're alive and you well, but you're going to learn right now, because it's stopping right here. And that's teaching and breaking some curses too. Because first of all, I'm teaching you boundaries. You know what I mean? It's boundaries. Someone asked, what's your secret? What do you use, to stay, your skin health and all that? I said boundaries. Boundaries. It's called boundaries. And we just had to let it go. And guess what? It worked. Because it worked. Mm-hmm. It worked. I'm gonna show you better, because we did everything, and you're not a child anymore. You are grown, you are a woman now, 18 and up. You know what I mean? So you say you an adult, you say this, you say that. Congratulations. Let's see how you do. And she just said, "Oh, I'm so glad I have my parents." Oh, because now she had to fall and see and learn how to appreciate her mom and dad. Sometimes you gotta let them go and turn them over.
That's why I asked. That's exactly why I asked that. And see, the thing is, we all are different, but we have that inner voice. We can hear that inner voice when we say, when things are happening the exact same way all the time, and it's something after something after something after something after something. You're doing something.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong, and you have to take the time out and slow down. So the reason why I asked that is like, what's that inner voice? How do you know you're getting it wrong? The signs are clear. When you're doing wrong, things pile up, things continuously when you're going through a growth period. The signs are clear. So that's why I asked, because everybody has to. You know, you know
You do.
for sure, but it comes down to acknowledging that.
Yep, that's
And like I said,
that's what I was gonna say, Mike. Because it's like people see it, they know it, they blame everybody else for it, but they deep down in their inner voice, you know you're the one that's fucking up. You know you're the one that's in the wrong, but you don't want to acknowledge it. You don't want to address it. You rather point fingers at everybody else. It's everybody else's fault that I'm angry right about now. Okay, yeah.
You know what?
All that's all good and good, but what are you doing on the inside?
Yeah.
Release, take the anger out of your heart.
Yeah.
Pointing at everybody else, but you're not addressing the situation at hand. That I have an anger issue. I have some issues my damn self that I got to deal with. And that's a pride thing. That's right. It's pride. You don't want to say, you know what? I messed up too. I am messed up. I don't got it all together. I'm not all right. People don't want to admit to that. So guess what? What I did in my own relationship, in my own situation, I said, I am not all the way together myself. I got to go seek some help. I need counseling. I need to find myself. And I knew that this repeated thing that kept coming over, it's like, I got to address the inner situation. I'm dealing with some childhood trauma that I haven't got over. So I need
Yep.
to face that. Or it's gonna always be everybody else is doing me wrong and all this kind of stuff, but I'm also not addressing the inner voice in me that's saying I'm just a sad little girl that's
Yeah.
never had to face
Yep.
her inner feelings about things. So I'm taking it out on
Mhm.
everybody else, but I'm
It's
not.
about
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yep.
you said, it's
I
about
did the
everything.
same thing. Yeah. You
It's
blame
all about.
everybody else.
Go ahead, Mike.
That's why I said that's why this was so for me. Like even told you, I've had quite a few of my friends that didn't want me to squash said beef, but I know for me, anger has always been an issue for me. So like that was when I tell you, every part of me was like, hell no, Mike, do not. These dudes tried to ruin your life. They tried to X you out of the picture completely. But when you hear that voice in yourself, when you're saying to yourself, I have anger issues, it's time to do something about it.
Yeah.
It's time to
Mhm.
stop saying that everybody else is the problem. You're making me angry. She's making me angry. My mama is the problem. Mom,
Or
no, you hear
or
that?
it don't matter if
Take
I
it and
forgive
flip
them.
it.
It don't matter.
That's
They're
it.
Right.
gonna always look down on me. They're gonna always. It's gonna always be this. You got to stop
Hmm.
making those excuses. You're gonna
Stop
forever
it.
Yep.
be upset. You're gonna forever be mad because you thinking everybody want to see you fail.
Hmm.
It's the point where
I
you
had a
prove them wrong.
yeah. I
You never.
y'all
Uh,
are reminding me. I just had a recent conversation with someone again, which you all are saying. Just you keep blaming, you keep blaming,
hmm.
right? Same thing, but just I mean, this was recently this week. I mean, and I'm just listening. I'm listening for the 20th time.
Hmm.
Same old shit. I'm sorry, same old. Just kept going. And I finally said, excuse me on this one. I mean, I finally said, look, I just cut them off. I said, look, when you gonna acknowledge that you fucking up?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm serious at this point. And if I have to say the F word, I'm mad. Like
Yeah.
I don't come at me with this. I don't want you at this point, you disturbing my peace. You're not trying to work on yourself. I done heard this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm tired. What do you want? You're not taking no advice. I can't do it. I can't do it. And
Hmm.
that's unfair. And you being selfish. Like, stop blaming everybody else. Okay, at this point, if they did do it, okay, that's fine. Okay. If they don't want to deal with it, whatever, set those healthy boundaries for yourself. Start looking at what you contribute and at this point, worry about what you can do. You're letting other people control you. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. It's depressing. You are depressing. You're not even fun anymore. It led to me just going all the way in. About like literally, it was like I'm done. I'm not even gonna fake it for you anymore, dude. You ridiculous. You're pitiful.
Hmm.
Do something with yourself. Let that shit go. If they're not gonna get, it's fine. Move on. Work
It's
on
fine.
you. Do what you gotta do, yo, for real. Like,
Hmm.
stop. Because at the
You know what?
end of the day,
Sometimes you
you
gotta
got a
give
part
yourself
too.
love. You do. It's like, you know what? You're not taking the advice. I asked you to do this. I told you to do that. You went to
Hmm.
therapy. Was very
Yeah.
about that. So it's like, what else can I do now? Because I'm sick of hearing about it now. At this point,
Yeah.
Right.
help
Hmm.
yourself.
And as a coach, they train us. They do. They do. They train us, about protecting our energy too. They train us on that. You got to protect ourselves because at some point, you look, and I can't. It's called professional help at this point. I cannot.
Yeah,
You're wasting time.
professional help. Yeah.
ATL Leo. See, this is where I used to think. Like Maggie even spoke to me on this issue, because it's like we have a gift to help. Like this is why AFN even exists. And I was like, man, I'm not helping nobody else. Forget everybody. And I was like, I was done with helping people. But the problem that we have is that you won't get out of your feelings. It's come down to this. We got to get out of our feelings, bro. Sometimes we got to be live and direct. You in your feelings. A lot of times it's not nobody else's problem but you because you don't want nobody to speak a certain tone to you. You don't want them to talk to you when you're in a certain mode. When people are giving you advice, you know that it's for you and you know that they're right. It's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's your problem. So a lot of times it's like you messed up because you help people. No, that's never the issue.
No.
That's never the
Right.
issue. You should never feel like, oh, I messed because I helped somebody. You did that
Yeah.
because you did that from the kindness of your heart. That's
Right.
their issue.
Right.
Like for
Right.
me,
Right.
when I do something from my heart, Maggie can tell you. Everybody from AFN is like, look, I believe in this kid. I believe in this person. I believe. Look, let's bring him in and show him how to do X or X or X. Look, that's
Right.
something that I did from my heart. So whether it will hurt, whether or not it hurts, look, that's something that I got to get over real quick. And this is a
Because you
lesson that I
still have to
learned from
do your
Maggie.
part. You
I
gotta
got to
still do
still
your part.
exactly.
That's
It's something that
on
I learned from
them.
Maggie. You know what I'm saying? Maggie and a few other people. It's like, Mike, you got a gift. Don't let this one or two, three people take you down a road where you just, God probably put you on this earth to help people, to help Kai, to help Maggie, to help Mike. But you upset, you still in your dang on feelings because of what somebody did to you in 1922. You got the problem.
And now we have to suffer and we in punishment and can't get your help
Exactly. You got to get
because
out of
of
something.
these people. No, they're done. They are who they are. Forgive. That doesn't mean you have to be friends. That doesn't mean you have to talk to them anymore. Just forgive. It's for you to move on and release within you. You know what I mean? And go on out and put your energy into the right people.
Because you know what happens? When you still have that mindset that everybody is out against me, everybody don't like me, people gonna treat me bad. Guess what? That good person that could have been really in your life,
Mm-hmm.
you push them away. It's like, dude, I was just trying to show you that I'm not like them. Where everybody else do that to me, so you might as well do it to me. And guess what? I had that mindset too. I had the mindset that everybody was gonna cheat on me. I had a mindset that people use me, and pretty much they did. But now I'm in this point where it's made me numb from being in a relationship. Like I don't feel like I want to be in no type of relationship, but I know that's something I'm gonna have to personally deal with though. So I'm not gonna try to live in that and dwell on that. So I'm gonna go seek some professional help about this. But I really am like I cannot. People are so nice to me now, want to take me out, want to do this, and they're trying to show me, hey, there's a different person, there's a different life, people that really care about you. But to me, my heart is blocking that right now.
Well, I'll say this. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, your situation is still brand new. That wound is open. The people that are trying to court you or whatever, date you or whatever, and do whatever, that can be overbearing as well. And they have to learn how to give space because, again, I mentioned when you keep holding, trying to grab on, you're thinking you're bringing that person closer to you. You're really,
pushing them away. Just
pushing
pushing
them
them away.
away further. So that person on the other end, or people, whoever, has to at some point understand that you're freshly, you're going, you ain't even divorced yet. You're going through a divorce. It's still fresh. The ink is fresh. So yeah, your heart is blocking, but I'm gonna kind of tell you allowed that right now. I can't really say, Maggie, damn, it's been 3 years. When you gonna open up? Why are you still hanging on to this?
That's a fresh
Yeah, at
one.
that
That's a
point,
fresh one.
I'm gonna have,
That's the part I try to get people to
you
understand.
know,
Like, you got to understand that people are not ready just to. They're not.
right. So I
Don't
mean, if you
talk to them.
watching, you listening, like hear us, like we're speaking, we're trying to help, we're trying to, even if it's one person, we're trying to, start this movement. We're trying to help one person at a time, because that's a big deal, because that one person can go out and teach another one person, and that one person can go out and teach another one person. Like, this is real stuff. So you are allowed to have your heart blocked. It's
Your time
fresh.
to
This
heal.
is fresh right now. So like I said, eventually, just at this point, the advice would be to you, Maggie, just allow the time to heal as you go on day by day. Just allow it. Just be open to saying, you know what, right now I'm fresh, whatever, but I am going to allow time and God, my whole spiritual team got my back on this one. I'm gonna allow them to help me one day at a time to heal, because people at the same time, Maggie, I'm gonna be honest, you ain't got nothing to give nobody right now, hun. You don't have it. So the person that people who want to date, come in and do whatever for you or be nice, they ain't not gonna get nothing, because you can't give it, and so that becomes unfair.
And that's where I'm at with it right now.
That
Like,
creates arguments,
it creates irritation,
toxicity.
tox that, and it makes you push all the way away from people. And it's like, leave me alone. At this point, it makes you even push away from the friendship part of things, because it's like, you're not understanding it. You're
Yeah,
not getting it, that people need time to heal, and their timeline is completely different from anybody else's timeline.
yeah,
You
God
know,
is
yeah.
gonna deal with us with the time that we need, and that's the thing you gotta understand as a person. Like for me, I was able to heal. When I look, I tell people this all the time. I have I there's only one person in my life that I can say I got positive affirmation from, and that's my dad.
Mm.
That's it. But like I didn't get that from girlfriends. I didn't get that from my mom. I didn't get that from my aunts. I like I vaguely remember my grandmother. I didn't have any of my grandparents. So when we talk about a connection to women and having that positive affirmations coming from them, man, look, I don't know how to decipher. I'm gonna be real. I don't know how to decipher the two. So I got a major trust when women tell me, "My God damn, but yeah, I want you. I need you." I'm looking at her like this bitch trying to set me up. Excuse me. That's how I think, because I've never had that. So when I hear that, I freak out. Freak out. So what I'm ultimately saying is I'm at I'm at a point where you have to show me. You have to show me that you're down for me. You have to show me that all right. Even if I cuss your ass out and I don't want to talk to you for 2 months, you have to show me that all right. You real about what you're saying, because not everything is going to be a honeymoon. And I think that's the biggest thing when we come down to relationships of any sort, friendships, husband, wife, whatever. I like it comes down to understanding that this person needs this amount of space. They need affirmations. They need somebody to be there for them, financially, whatever they need at that particular time. You have to show them over time that that trust and that loyalty is going to be there. And that's the problem with a lot of people today. They want it fast, quick, in a hurry, their way. And love, what true love is giving that person what they want, not giving them what you want. Let me say that
Right.
again. What true love is giving them what they want, not what you're trying to get in return. A lot of
Right.
times we seek relationships because we're trying to get back what we lost, what we want. We're trying to make that
Master
person
feeling.
that's it. That's all we trying to master feelings. So it all comes down to like if I say I love you and you say leave me alone, I'ma do it. If you say, hey man, I really need some help. I don't know what I'm gonna do, Mike, man. You know what I'm saying? I just need you to just be here. I know this is something, actually a little something, but man, can you give me $100 a month or something like that? You know what I'm saying? If you really truly love that person the way that you said, you will go about each step the right way. And I think a lot of people, when they say they love people, they only love people the way that they want to love them instead of giving them the love that they want.
I wanna address this right here, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and close it out soon because we're going on 2 hours.
Okay.
Oh, ATL Leah, and anybody else that's quietly watching the show and they're feeling emotions and feeling personal about these topics. One thing about Champagne Confessions, my mental space.
Mm.
Um, to me, right now, what you're going through right now, you are starting to hear it. That's what's happening. You're hearing it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's starting to hit
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yep.
It's it's
Yep.
it's you're starting to hear your reality to things. So because you don't believe in seeking counseling and things like this, so some things are hitting home to you right now, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to not know how to feel about this. But to me, that's a breakthrough for me. And sometimes we don't want to hear the truth. We don't want to face it. We try to push it away. But the fact that you're opening up, it's a big step, ATL Leo. If you don't take anything else from this episode, and we love each and everybody here, but sometimes we do need that little bit of tough love when it comes to getting help.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, you
Yeah.
can't cover your boo-boos up with band-aids and say it's gonna be okay. And then you walk off and snatch that thing back off, that wound is back open. You gotta heal. You gotta
God
heal.
wants to help us. We gotta help God help us. That's the
You have
thing.
to,
You
you
want you
have
Thing.
want you want
Yeah.
more riches. You want more riches. You gotta prepare yourself for that
Yeah.
riches. You want a bigger house. You gotta prepare for that bigger house. You gotta help people
Telling
and
you.
help God help you. You can't
I'm
sit there
telling
and just
you.
say, "Oh God, I want to move." Well, you gotta get up and do something.
Telling you,
Move.
and it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, but he puts us through it, and he'll get us through it. And like what Maggie said, what Mike said, it's hitting home to you. It's uncomfortable. It makes you. It angers you. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to deal with nobody because the truth hurts a lot of the time. I don't even want to say sometime anymore. A lot of the time it happens, man. It happens. And then after that, you start facing the dark side of you. You start facing
Mm-hmm.
your actions. And then you got to, oh my God. I mean, I know
Wow, I
with
say that.
me, the tour I went, I mean, it was crazy. I'm talking about it made me so miserable because it opened up it was almost like sitting, how people go on the attic, they get out of the old thing and be watching the movies on the little screen back in the day and having fun. It was like my life was playing
Yeah.
over in my head from when I was younger. It was playing. I saw the little Kai. I mean, the teenage. It started playing up until now, and it was hard to accept. Even though, yes, people had wronged me and did their part or whatever, but Jesus Christ, the hell raiser that I saw from myself, the bully that I saw, it was like, oh my God, you talking about Satan's best friend. Yo,
I'm definitely a
it,
bully.
I mean, I was on a roll, and it was because I got tired of people's shit, man. So I put up this wall, and I became. That's why I say I understand Mike. When I first saw him and whatever, I understood that. Oh, I
Mhm.
understood because I
Oh
felt
yeah.
that too. I understand ATL Leo. I get it. A lot of time, and I'm careful with saying I understand. I know exactly how you feel, whatever, because I haven't. I can sympathize, but I'm careful with
Not
that. So
often.
when I say I
Everybody.
understand,
Mhm.
I understand it like
Mhm.
to the core. It's like, what is this? But you gotta hang in there, and you have to surround yourself with the right people. But at this, Maggie and I, Mike, Maggie and I, we sympathize. We had an empathy for people. Shoot, we be wanting to cry and all those. But at the same time, um, you know, if we have to go ahead and give it to you, you know, real quick. No, seriously, if we have to say,
Yeah.
look, this is it, yo. This is it. It's only because it's coming from, we're a family, man.
Yes.
This is supposed to be our safe haven.
Yes.
I know we're live. I know it's our show, but guess what? We are protected. God covering us. We don't care if the haters watching, if they like us, if they saying something about y'all. We got y'all. We backing you up. J Rock, Oliver, ATL Leo, Big Ant, who else? Cool Tank, everybody, all y'all. It doesn't matter. It don't matter about them. We live. We streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever else we done set the crap up at. It don't matter. It
Which
doesn't matter. But if we need to go ahead and tell you the real deal instead of, we've done weeks and months of, oh yeah, I get it, I
It's
understand.
gonna be okay, dude. It's gonna be okay, sweetheart. You can stay
Right,
mad at him.
right.
Nah, bro,
don't
that's
take
not
me
gonna
there.
help you.
It's gonna be
It's
all
over
right.
with now. No,
Maggie
what
and
we
I
got to
fight all
do,
the time.
Oh
We
yeah.
fight all the
yeah.
time because she be trying to tell me stuff and I be trying to tell her stuff. And she'll call me, I know, I just forgive me. I was just mad at your ass or something like that. We do that to each
But you
other
know,
all the
one
time.
thing we can say, we keeps it real with one another.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
hold
talk
each
all
other
the time.
accountable. We hold each
Mike,
other
I
accountable.
mean, not Mike, but Maggie. She got that long behind message from me. Like, yo, girl, I'm tell you like this. I get it. I get what you're going through. Matter of fact, we met at the time where both of us were
Going.
going through it, like facing ourselves, dealing with it, whatever we had to deal with. We met at that time, both going through it, and things go along, things happen. She started, she had some, things at that moment that she was going through, and I felt it. I'm like, yo, this Maggie, this woman right here, I can already feel it. When she talked to me, I hear her rambling. She going 500 miles per hour. She's going in on every
Oh,
damn
I
body.
Oh
She
know.
God.
mad at Mike.
I just sit
She
there and
pissed
listen.
off at Mike. Mike, you were the worst person on the earth, and I hadn't even talked to you yet. I just knew you from
She
YouTube. I
loved me.
hadn't even
She
talked
loved
whatever.
me.
I mean,
She was just
going in.
mad at
I'm
me.
listening. I'm listening.
Sad thing is, people was like, "Is Maggie okay?" They
Yeah,
don't
she
behind me
look,
talk to Mike.
I was used
What's
to it.
going on with her? Cause she
See,
wild.
Kel was see Kel. Look, and Kel the only one who really understand our relationship like that. Kel and Shell, we do that all the time. That's something. She'll be mad at me. I'll be mad at
Yeah,
her for something. But like I said, at the end of the day, one thing that I always cherish is that even when she cursing me out, she gonna come back and say, Mike,
you know what?
I was wrong. I was wrong.
I
I
had
don't
to
get that
pray
a
for
lot.
her.
Hmm.
I added her to the prayer list. But that's when I sent Maggie that message, like at the end of the day, letting her know
Yeah,
I'm here. Your fault. You know who your people are. I don't have to tell you. Don't push
yeah.
us away. Do not
Hmm.
do that. Don't you do that to me.
Oh, I was gonna show up at the door. She know that I was gonna show up at the door.
Exactly. Everybody invade my space. Oh, and
I was like,
Hey,
they'll be all
hey,
right. They'll
Mike,
be all right.
Mike, Mike,
Yes, ma'am.
Mike. And at that time, I had still look. I'm like, yeah, I still got your address in my GPS. Don't make me press start. Do not, yo. Like, don't.
Ma, she done try to get rid of me. It ain't happening. So she already know that.
y'all ain't the only
No,
ones.
for
I'm
yeah,
the only ones. Some I got to deal with. But on that note, let's go ahead and conclude because we
yeah,
are
because I only got about 7% on this phone.
Okay, let's
Um,
close this out.
okay, since you got 7%, Mike, go ahead and close it on now.
um,
Your last minute thoughts, anything?
I appreciate. I like I said. I like for me. Maggie know how hard this is for me, and that's why ATL Leo. I'm telling you right now, you got to get out your feelings. You got to get out your feelings. If that's as real as I could tell you right now. If you truly want to change, if you truly want to get over your anger, or you just fine with just being angry. That's the choice is yours. But at the end of the day, you still in your feelings. You got to get out your feelings and understand that people are not perfect. They are imperfect in their own way. They're imperfect in a unique way, their way. So you have to understand your parents, your family, all these people are going to be imperfect. So at the end of the day, you got to learn how to adjust to how people are and shelter yourself and in a way that you see fit for yourself. But you got to get out your feelings, man. Got to get out your feelings.
And don't push AFN away. We're open
Right.
for you. Come talk to us. And even if it's, I know you're not comfortable here, but it can be very private, very
Yeah.
discreet. The conversation is not going beyond that. At least talk to somebody because I see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
See to cry out.
Yep. We
You just
all
don't
do.
want other people seeing you in your feelings. You don't want other people seeing you crying. You don't want to, so you show anger and be upset so that you can just look tough and don't bother me. But that's just that's a defense mechanism. You putting that facade up so nobody won't bother you. Like, oh, you over there crying?
hmm
What's wrong?
My
And
AFN crew saw me crying. They saw me crying. I broke down. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And like people know, if you know me, you gonna barely vaguely see any tears come out of me. I don't cry much. I cried with Maggie after my mom. That was the first time in a long time I cried, and then a couple of months after that, I cried again. But like I don't shed a lot of tears, and like I said, for me, um, it's a process, and you got to learn how to let go, man. It's nothing wrong. We say this shit all the time, and it's so cliche with a lot of men, but it's okay for a man to cry, dog. Like dead ass. It's really okay. And we got to kill that moniker that it's not manly to cry. You gotta let that shit out. You gotta let that shit go.
mhm,
Or it's gonna kill you.
Use your
absolutely,
tears. God gave us tears for a reason. We able to cry for a reason. Use it.
yeah, that's okay. You say ain't
Use
nothing
them.
wrong with a man crying. That's right. So, Miss Kai, let's close it on out, ma'am.
All I have to say is pray for yourself. Ground yourself. Start there. It has to. It has to. Everything starts within you. You got to pray for yourself. Pray about this. Pray about your actions. Pray about the way you're feeling, that anger. Pray about that. Get yourself balanced first so you can now process all of that you're feeling, that I want to push AFN away or champagne confessions away or whatever. I want to cuss them all out. They're getting on my nerves. They're pinching, they're striking a nerve, and I'm just tired of it. Yeah, they're hitting too close to home or whatever. Whatever you're feeling. And it's like Mike and Maggie said, it's okay. Like I'm saying, it's okay. It's okay to cry. Process all of that. You gotta clear out the noise first, because at this point you are you are
He's
on your
recognizing
way.
it. He's
You're
recognizing
on your way.
it. Mm-hmm.
Let yourself process. Allow yourself to process. Take it in. Then you'll start to understand other people, like Mike said. Learn how to, just navigate through life, because this ain't the first time, this ain't gonna be the last. You're gonna come across some things, some people, whatever. But when you understand that, again, you're not the only one going through things. You know, other people are going through things. Yeah, they might not handle it how you handle it. They're handling it in the way that they know how. So when you know that, and we stop taking things personal, you know what I mean? It's more people for you, and that's going to be down for you than they are against you. And I'm telling you that. I can almost promise you that and put my life on that one. When somebody, and that's what helped me to even be on the show, do live shows or whatever, to stop giving a F what everybody else thinks of me, how I look, how I sound, what I'm saying, I mean, whatever else, just if somebody were to wrong me or say something to me, at the end of the day, and I'm not saying this right or giving it a pass. I just know they have something going on within them. Misery loves company, but you can't let that control you. You cannot let that block your blessings. We have to take that wall down, put on our armor, know that, God is with us. He's standing with us. He's carrying us through. You know what I mean? And just let go. Let go. Let go.
Mm-hmm.
And be strong through it.
And I want to say this. It's a video I did earlier today that I feel like people really need to listen to. You will come across many people in your life. They will all have a purpose to fulfill. Some will teach you a lesson, and some will leave your soul wounded. Some will love you for their selfish motives, and some will love you unconditionally. Some will cheat you, lie to you, and stab you in the back. Learn from those lessons life teaches you, though. And don't waste your time on people who are there in your life for their convenience and who would never take you seriously. You're too busy worrying about these people that are no good in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't allow people to use you for their selfish reasons. You got to be strong, and don't let anything break you or leave you shattered, because guess what? They win in that instance. They did their part. They beat you down and you stayed there. That's exactly what they wanted you to do. So choose the people whom you want in your life that are there for a real, true reason. And one more thing. In life, you will realize there is a role for everyone you meet. Listen to that, okay? Some will test you, like you said. Some will love you. But the ones who are truly important are the ones who bring out the best in you. Don't ignore it. Okay? Sometimes it might be tough love, but sometimes people are giving you that to really show you that, you know what? Forget about it. We care about you. We care about your well-being. We care about everything that it is to make you feel better in life. And that's what you need to start to accept. So, and these people are rare and amazing people who will remind you why it's worth it and that you are
Yep.
worth it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Remember that. It's
I'm
hard hitting.
telling you.
Good show. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We're going to get deep in here now. Go to church up in here.
I know. And like I said, look, y'all, like Mike said, you want to be moved on up, whatever. That's not going to happen if you can't handle your present. You have to be able to handle it. I tell people life is like a video game. I'm not saying this life is taking it as a joke, but if you think about it, when you're playing, you try to get to higher levels, right? And on those levels, it gets harder, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Things come at you a little, it's different. So look, you have to learn. That is a real thing that God is not going to place any more on us than we can handle. So if you're showing him in the universe that you can't handle and deal with what you're going through now, how do you expect for him to move you forward?
Absolutely. Jamie, you got some
Got,
last thoughts?
yes, I do. Parent, child, all the parents that used to be children. You cannot love without forgiveness. All the trauma that you've been through in your childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's trauma that your parents or your guardian that was under their wing had some trauma of their own that you may not know or understand. But just understand this: there is no love without forgiveness. That's the best, because forgiveness is for yourself, not for the people that wrong you.
When you
And
start
that's my closing
realizing
statement.
that, yeah, when you realize that it's not for them, I don't care what they feel and how they feel,
Yep.
it's for you. But you
Yep.
have to understand that concept, though. And this is to anybody. We're not just circling around one person. Anybody is on here that's watching silently and taking it all in, leave a comment.
The answer is yes, ATL Leo, because I will find you personally.
Oh
Hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, I
Oh, and
will be
I'll
there
bring
too.
Maggie along. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll say, Maggie, come on. We got a mission. We got
Come on,
somewhere to
ATL.
go.
For real, we would love to meet you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great time, and I'm excited to meet everybody. And shoot, if you need a
Hmm.
hug, we can go to the back and get a big old hug, and then you can come out and be as hard as you want to be.
Yeah.
Dude, we can have us
We
a.
hug. We're huggers. We're
You know what? And
huggers.
that's what we should do, Kai. I think it should be where some people that just kind of want to meet in the back and have a little sit down for a moment. We can try to incorporate that some type of way. Just kind of
Cool.
a little
Okay.
bit before or after, because I'm gonna be there early anyway. So if anybody want to get
Okay.
there earlier while we're kind of setting up and everything, I'm more than welcome to open that to before the party starts, and we just
Hmm.
have a private chat before, maybe a little prayer before or whatever.
That
I
sounds
feel
good.
like we can incorporate that before the craziness, because I'm drinking and everything else. So it's gonna
You
get
so
crazy. I'm just playing. But on that note, people, follow us everywhere we need to be. Does this mean I need to be? Yes, yes. Well, I'm gonna blame Mike and Matt Ryan for this. I will be going to the event. I'm glad.
Yeah. Man.
That's
Right.
right.
Jay, if you could, are you able to drop our Discord link?
I'm about to find it.
Is it in here? Okay.
Not yet for the I'm going to the Discord now. Discord. That's right. You need to be there, sir. Be there or be square.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to put it on there. But on that note, people, we put this Discord chat on here. One chat. I'm also I think it's in the description of our show anyway. I want to say, but I'm gonna get it.
It might be.
I think it is. I put it in the Discord. The description. Don't beat me up if it's not. I was trying to figure out how to do this thing. I don't never know how to share or anything, y'all. Bear with me. We out here though.
Mm-hmm.
We out.
Love y'all.
Love
Y'all.
you, sis. Come back to the chat and you'll see it at the original video. That's what we're gonna do because I want to keep prolonging this. Try to figure out how to share this thing. There we go.
Jay said it's there.
Okay, appreciate it. We'll put it in there. Okay, we on there. We good. We good. It's in the chat. All right, people. On that note, appreciate you there. Okay, so just look at the description then. I make sure I put it on there.
Yeah.
It's in the description. Join us in the Discord right now. All right, people, and we out.
See y'all. Love y'all. Take care.